This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
New! The Nintendo Switch OLED. It has a slightly bigger screen than the original, slightly improved kickstand, and all of the Joy-Con drift you've known and loved. It's so great that even Camel Cooley is willing to come out as himself just to get one. Just kidding. It's the same old iPhone with the camera. And now let's summon the Rangers, shall we? We got Kent. And who's this mysterious person who we've never seen before?
Oh, by the way, products of X355 are sponsored by the Space Rangers.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Power Rangers Live, and we are doing a new episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury Storm Surge. That's right. It's a new episode. It's semi-new. Well, the British have seen it a lot, but we haven't seen it yet on Nickelodeon. But it's okay because our Hasbro overlords let us review it anyways. Okay, so before we get into it, let's do our quick 30-second thoughts on the episode. Jen, since you haven't been here in a while, why don't you go first?
My thought is cool episode, not that special. I guess basically I like it just because it's, it basically celebrates the importance of doing one's task, the importance of doing your assignment. Overall, this is a 7 out of 10. It's not anything bad. I mean, there's something special, but we don't know. But just maybe something came out. I don't know why I'm wearing this jacket. Yeah.
And Kent, what do you think of the episode?
He barely said a line, and already he's massively more interesting than Canelo. But overall, I think this episode was fine. It kind of felt like it was cheesy but not cringy. Basically, it there was a good balance, and like the message was a bit, okay, whatever. But it, like I said, it didn't feel like obnoxious or forced or anything. And I also kind of love how, despite Ollie being, we're probably gonna say it, Ollie's kind of the season's focus, and making him that also means he's the season's punching bag, which I've kind of been enjoying that.
Well, for me, the one thing I hate about him being the season's punching bag is the fact that, they made such a big stint about him being the science guy of the team. And, I have a lot of respect for science guys, but Ollie makes it very difficult to like him because of that. It's like the more related you are to something, the more cringy the cringy things get. But I would say some interesting things did happen this episode, and we're gonna go right into it. So of course, given the fact that there's only 3 of us and I'm hosting it, it's only natural that the people doing the plot summary have to be the 2 of you. And it's perfect because now that Jen's here and a certain thing happens towards the end of the episode,
we don't know.
The timing couldn't get more perfect. So, Jen, why don't you go first, and then Kent, you go second.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. Where do I get started? All right. So, back at Buzz Blast, right? Ollie has on these white headphones on, right? He's too busy on his, listening to music, right? Javi is annoyed at Ollie because he couldn't pick up the samples for his story, right? So, of course, they went with another plan. We see Jay Borg waiting for, the paint to dry, right? But, of course, that content was boring, right? So, Jane's going insane. She's like, oh, this is boring. So, of course, Javi's annoyed, and Ollie forgot to do his job because he was too busy buying the new headphones. Um, because he likes new, like a lot of most teenagers, they like new technology. They like the newest thing because old ones obviously don't work very well. So yeah, and so Javi, he wanted to cover a new story, and of course Jane gives him a story regarding storms that's been happening recently. And these storms, like, we don't know what's going on, but like Jane assigned him a story to cover regarding the weather that's been going on, basically the surge. So yeah, so of course Ollie, of course, volunteers to be interviewed by Javi regarding the weather instead of his mom, because remember his mom, Dr. Akana, is of course the one that's collecting all the database using her sub drone and whatnot. But of course, Ollie, he wanted to be the one to be interviewed instead. So the next scene, we see storm starts happening, right? And then Ollie's mom is like Dr. Akana is investigating using her old laptop. Ollie, on the other hand, wants the X335 laptop, for his mom's, for his mom's job to do better because the old laptop is running pretty slow, and he believes that new laptops will, make things better and easier for her job, right? So while that's going on, Mucus and Slither are like, eavesdropping, right? They create a plan. So while that's going on, right, the next thing happens, a Sporix is hatched, and it's like this water element power. We find out the monster's name is, I believe, Tidemare. So yeah, and by the way, I really like this scene because like they start off with a puns. Like personally, I'm not really like a big fan of like the sports whenever they hatch, they have like these dumb little puns. But this one of all things actually had my favorite puns. And we'll get to that later on. But yeah. So the Power Rangers, come in to fight the monster. But Zato couldn't defeat the monster because of course Zato's power element is fire, right? And of course the monster is water. So of course water beats fire. So then the monster runs away with, and Mucus and Slither chases them, right? So the Rangers go back to see then go back to see Ollie's mom. And the mom saw nothing like, different that happened. And during that time, the storm is really going stronger than ever. But her laptop is taking a while to process that data. Now back at Buzz Blast.
Kent.
Okay, so back at Buzz Blast, just like what a coinky dink of all coinky dinks. Some random guy in a hideous suit, someone I don't think we know this person at all, is giving away a free laptop, and they're doing a gumball guessing contest. Not gumball as in the Amazing World of Gumball, that'd be awesome, but gumballs as in chewing gum. And
how many gumballs it takes? How many gumballs are in the thing?
Right,
Okay.
and like Ollie thinks, hey, I could use that with. Oh, I could figure this out with science. And then he gets ready to and like Javi's just like, hey, stay focused, okay? He goes, what kind of interviewer am I? And I was like, the same person that does exactly what he says not to do. Anyway, he ends up like ruining Javi's interview, but he ends up getting the laptop and he wins and he's happy and thrilled. And then they leave and then suddenly this guy, like I said, that we totally don't know, is like, looking all suspicious. And then they take the new laptop back to back to Ollie's mom, where she uses her device to pull this mysterious object out of the water. That and like but suddenly the laptop starts to act really weird, and like it turns out it's been hacked, and then Chase and Ollie and Javi, suspect, and like they teleport the guys in. Also, it's kind of, I made that gumball joke back at the start of the season where Javi contacts the Rangers even though his mom's a few feet away, and she's like literally behind them, which I thought was kind of funny. Anyway, they warn them, and so Solon, tracks down the Sporax. Zato says a line about glad she's not extinct, and then they find Slither and they find Slither and Mucus at the rock quarry with the monster. And by the way, some of these smack talking that the show's done has been kind of very hit or miss once in a while. But like the monster, like when the two beam out, he goes, "You're in deep water." And then Emil's like, "Yeah, well, you look a little shallow." And I was
That
like,
was my favorite scene.
"That
That was
that
Yeah.
was
No,
that was
I love how they're like, well, we're in some hot water. You are in deep trouble. Yeah, well, your jokes are very shallow.
yes, that was actually a pretty good that was a pretty good smack. So the team morphs and they start battling the monster, but none of their power-ups seem to get through it because he's he's a water bender basically. Like all of his attacks are proving worthless. And then back at the beach, suddenly you know the mo- suddenly the device is pulled out, while Mucus and Slider are investigating, and Ollie's mom sees it as well. And
Jen,
then,
would you like to take over from here?
Oh, so wait. You said something about Mucus and Slider pulling
Mhm.
out that thing, right? Okay, so next thing you know, we see this gold thing, right? It looks like a Power Ranger. We don't know yet. This looks like a gold thing that's just coming out. So of course, Mucus and Slider runs away because they're like, "Oh my god, we don't know." So like the Power Rangers, while that's going on, are like, fighting with Tidemare, right? Right where the Power Rangers are about to get defeated, we see the Gold Ranger come in and defends them. Which, by the way, I'm just saying, Power Rangers Gold and the Gold Power Ranger that comes by and introduces himself, he looks really cool. I'm just saying, I really love like the outfit and even the weapon he has. So yeah, so the Gold Ranger defeats Tidemare because you remember electricity over water. You know that. So the Gold Ranger, of course, they defeat Tidemare, right? The Gold Ranger doesn't reveal himself, but he says, "Hey Zato," like but then looks like Zato knows something about the Gold Ranger, but we don't know. So Zato's like, I'm gonna take this back. So the Rangers, right? There's the Rangers ask Zato, "Hey, do you know this Gold Ranger?" And of course, Zato says nothing. And then of course, he grabs the sporks and just takes it back to the base and runs away from the Rangers, right? So of course, the Rangers were like confused what was going on. So while that's going, that's being taken care of, right? The Gold Ranger, he doesn't reveal his face or anything; he just runs away, right? Well, that's
mhm.
going on. Doctor Kana finds out that the mucus hacked onto the laptop, and used the subdrone to drag the pod from the store. Dr. Kana says a Power Ranger came out. And I love this scene where it was just like Dr. Kana so smart. Dr. Kana like figured out that the Rangers are connected to the Morphin grid drive, and you find out that all his powers, because of his electricity power, it caused this recent thunderstorm that's been going on recently, right? So that could have been it. So, and then I think towards the end, right, Ollie then feels horrible for for being a bad friend. Basically, he couldn't complete his assignment very well. So he said sorry to Javi for letting him down. So in return, Ollie gives Javi his new headphones. And by the way, I'm just saying, I don't really want to borrow, like I don't want to have someone's left, headphones unless I sanitize it. But yeah, that's just me because coronavirus. But anyways, yeah. So that's going on. Next page is back at Buzz Blast, right? They do a
Kent, want to
bubble.
finish us off?
Okay, fine.
Okay, so using all the gumballs that they got from the contest, they decided to have a huge blowing, they decided to have a huge bubble gum blow out, and yes, they had to end this with a reference to Kimberly's bubble incident from season 1, and Jayborg, she swallows, and then suddenly blows a huge one, and then it kabooms, and yet ironically it only covers her and her and the boss lady, and the episode ends with a little wacky humor. So that was the episode overall.
Okay. All right. So likes, dislikes, score out of 10, and of course, live studio audience, by which I mean the comment section both on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to tell us what you thought of the episode and your scores out of 10. But in the meantime, since Jen went first earlier today, Kent, why don't you go first? What or likes, dislikes, score out of 10?
Like I said, it was a decent episode. It was ultimately just harmless fun. Like I said, the message didn't feel too cringeworthy that it felt like super eye rolling, And like I said, I kind of enjoy seeing Ollie get like get a few hits in. The bad guys plan once again was pretty clever. They just happened to overhear that he needed a laptop and they thought they worked with it, which was pretty cool. the action was pretty good. And like I said, I like this new Gold Ranger, pretty well. I think he's like I said, a bit more interesting than Camelo from Rio Soldier, but more on that next week. And also, another episode that doesn't have to have a Zord battle, which is, pretty cool and all. So, which I think this is mostly because the Sentai version didn't have one, but, still neat and overall. So, I guess 9 out of 10. Like I said.
All right, Jen, your thoughts, likes, dislikes, and score out of 10.
I do like the the importance of completing the mission. Not mission, but the assignment for your friend is important. I like how they stated that. But I don't like, well, it's not really so much of I don't like. So I know Javi was calculating how many gumballs are there, right? And I know he's using basic geometry. But some of the gumballs are not even the same size. One was bigger than the other. So how did he calculate that? I'm just saying, how he found out there's like 2,036 when there's different size. They're not even equally sized gumballs. I'm just saying.
It's Power Ranger logic,
I know, but think about it. If you're gonna, I don't remember the volume. I forgot what it was. It was base height or whatever. That's not even like, unless he really did it by individual side. But that's just me. I don't know how you can calculate it so quickly. That's just saying. When there's different size gumballs, math out there. That's my dislike. My dislike was how like he literally calculated the size and whatnot, the width and all that to find out how many gumballs are in the jar while he's having an interview. That thing got me so mad because I'm so mad at Ollie. I like something about Ollie. He just makes me want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, get it together. So that's what I'm disliked about, because I've always loved the Blue Ranger. Blue Ranger has always been like me. Blue Ranger's always like the the smart one, right? But this one was just like he's a knucklehead. You just want to like, you know what I mean?
Well,
not exactly his predecessors were.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Sharpest.
So, but yeah, that was just my dislikes. For once, I do like the punch. The shallow thing that was really cool. And of course, the Gold Ranger, but we don't know who he is yet. But he seems to be related. We don't know his face yet, but he seems to be related to Zato, considering he stated Zato's name. We don't know.
So what's your score out of 10?
7 out of 10.
Okay, only a 7. Okay. For me, well, let's see. Okay, the puns, they were a little better than what I would normally hear from Power Rangers, and given how cringy the okay boomer one was, and I'm still gonna hold it over Izzy, not gonna lie. I mean, it could have been worse. At least it wasn't like a certain episode of Power Rangers Samurai. Next time, use less, because you're making me useless. But they were so somewhat clever. Like when I was in anatomy class, some people thought that my puns were humorous, but other people, it got on their nerves. I got under their skin. They had a bone to pick with me, but they just gotta stomach through it. Okay, but I actually did like the moral of the story. It's like, yes, just because it's a new iPhone doesn't mean that you need to get it, because it's an iPhone with a camera. I don't know how many times I had to quote Long Beach Griffey, but it's an iPhone with a camera. It's a Switch with a slightly larger screen. Same amount of Joy-Con drift. But yeah, you shouldn't get the newest thing unless you absolutely need to get it. Like, Dr. Akani's computer conveniently got destroyed. Now you may as well get the new computer. But no, I'll have to say though, the whole guessing the number of gumballs, I don't think there was as much math involved, because I think it didn't really matter what number Ollie would have picked. Campbell would have just said, "Oh yeah, that's the correct number," no matter what. Like somehow, even if Ollie just had like a stupid moment and said, "There's only 5 gumballs in that entire jar," somehow Mr. Wiz would still somehow say, "That's correct. There's exactly 5 gumballs in here." But yeah, that it was also very obvious, and yeah, I think Ollie was very much of a jerk in this episode because it's like you made a commitment, gotta stick to it. I know that computer's important, but you could have at least waited until after. At least you could have waited until after your interview in order to watch in order to calculate the number of gumballs. And quite frankly, I think that can we talk for a moment about the whole Punyon thing because out of all the vegetables you would hybridize, why a pickle and an onion? Personally, I would rather make a hybrid of an onion with a pepper. Personally speaking, I like allium and I like capsicum, and Tesserelle also likes capsicum, so maybe she would be on the same boat as me. But that's just me. I would give this episode an 8 out of 10 because I like having a science guy on the team because I am a science guy and I love Rangers who are science guys, but Ollie, stop being a jerk, man. Like,
What?
You're almost as much of a jerk as Zato. Okay, anyway, so let's go to the prompt question. So Kent, what do you think about the whole technology message? Do you think it did a great job explaining it, and what do you think of it compared to to an earlier Ollie episode where technology was the thing that saved everyone?
I guess it shows the pros and cons of it, and I guess having Ollie be the one that is a part of both stories, it kind of works, like he showed one episode how technology could benefit everyone, but then shows how it can also backfire. So that was cool. And like I said, again, another pie in his face, which I enjoyed.
All right. And Jen, now that a certain someone has made an appearance,
Finally!
what do you think? What do you think of his relationship with Zato? Do you think that there's like a traitor situation where like he stabbed everyone in the back? Do you think it's a Stargirl situation where he was like the only person who didn't do something that the others did that was bad, and now like Zato is angry at him? Like what do you think? Like what do you think his relationship is with Zato moving forward?
Without seeing the spoilers or anything, like I'm gonna come in here like as if I watched this the first time, right? Like without seeing anything, without revealing who they are. I would assume that this person is probably related to Zato because think about it. Nobody knows Zato better than himself, right? And if anybody who knows Zato, as well, obviously has to be from someone thousands years ago, trillions years ago. So maybe he's from the same planet, same species. We don't know. But you know what? It looks like the Gold Ranger. My prediction is he would be a good, character just because we got an electricity type. Isn't that cool?
Mhm.
But yeah, my prediction is he's going to be part of the addition, but I think he may like he may not be like working closely with the rest of the Rangers at Buzz Blast. We don't know.
Mhm.
Learning to adopt, and because keep in mind, remember this Gold Ranger came out of that pod, right? You remember how Mucus and Slider were dragging them out? So yeah, we don't know.
Okay, so my quick thoughts is it would have been interesting if instead of Rafconian, because we can kind of assume that he's Rafconian, what if he was Equation? Because
What's Equation?
The Alien Rangers.
From Aquitar.
Oh!
Because one, what if there was an ancient equation that landed on Earth and founded what would now be the city of Atlantis? And also, given the fact that Camelo could communicate with the Zord telepathically, equations also can do the same thing, so it would work. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out. I haven't watched the next episode, but let's see how it plays out next week. With that said, guys, thank you for watching our plot summary. But now it's time to do everyone's favorite part of the show, the comment section.
All right, one sec. Thomas, we're only judging this episode from what we currently see. So we do not know what, like, this is just a review of how this episode turned out, and
Yeah,
not
I don't
knowing
want to spoil it for next
Mhm.
episode. Why would I do that?
and not
Yep.
knowing any further, and not basing it off of like, I've seen the episodes already too, but this is just a focus on this one and not knowing what's gonna happen moving forward. Okay.
Yep. I didn't even watch the following episodes after this one.
Mm.
I just watch them on a weekly basis. And I already feel a little dirty inside for being 3 weeks ahead of Nickelodeon.
You already broke your code, so
I know. I hate it. I
Hasbro's
blame it on a
watching.
producer.
Hasbro's watching.
Okay, let's move on
Just
to the
kidding.
comments. Kent, would you like to be the comments officer today?
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Thomas. So,
Hello.
Psycho Orange. I give this episode a 7 out
See,
of 10.
he agrees with me. He agrees with me.
Mondrea says hi.
Hi.
New for you guys since I already. Hello, Edward. Hello from Edward.
Hello.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Yes. Get it? It's a space reference. Yes. 355. Rangers in space.
I think 335.
3, 5. Pew! Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Good luck. Good luck, Psycho Orange.
Great.
Metallosaurus and Thunderzords. That sounds interesting.
Yep.
Episode 16. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Mike, can you take the comments? My computer's acting weird.
Okay. So let's take a look at the comments. Let's see. Oh, okay.
like what
This is an
Fox-
interesting one. Cody says lasagna's just spaghetti cake. He's not wrong.
Wait, Cody? Is that the
Yep,
one that
Cody.
his name's
Yep,
House of
our
Heat?
Cody.
Yeah, he's the guy who does our awesome editing and thumbnails.
Oh, okay. I just never thought of House of
Okay.
Heat.
Okay.
See, he agrees
Oh
with me.
god, Ollie needs to get jumped by a bunch of monsters. Lol, how the hell do you try to win a laptop while you are being interviewed? I can make so many responses to Reckless Fox. Okay, hi, 8 out of 10. Can't wait to see the next episode. Awesome. I am Edward Sanchez says I'm very excited too. I'm very excited to learn more about the Gold Ranger next episode. Let's see. I had an issue with the dialogue between Ollie and Javi, but it wasn't all that bad. I do love the facial acting from Zato when he saw the Gold Ranger. Yeah, yeah. 2 seasons in a row, we at the very least got good facial acting from the Red Ranger. Because like, if you remember the episode not Boxed In, the what's it called? Evox is Ensnared. Like that was a great Rory episode. Okay. Also, guys, sorry I couldn't make it today. Today's episode, but next episode I'll have a huge announcement. Ooh, sounds big. Okay. Are you gonna announce a new Ranger or something? Because
No,
We'll save it for that time.
okay. Let's see. King, where are you? The Gold Ranger has a figure and his description. Okay, well, I honestly, at my target, the only 2 figures I could find are the Pink Ranger and Boom Towers. So
Lucky, all I could find was the red and blue.
I can't find red and blue.
By the way, I just want to say that I prefer Mucus and Slither better than Mucus and Boom Tower. That's just me.
Slither is actually a very fun character in both the Sentai and in Power Rangers.
Because
and
personally,
I love
I prefer Slither over Boom Tower.
I at least like that the villains are competent. So
Yeah, come on. Who wants to keep saying boom multiple times?
yeah, like
here comes the boom.
yeah. Like maybe if a certain rook could travel faster, maybe he'll make a sonic boom.
All right.
Okay, well, that's it for the comments section. Thank you everyone for watching, and of course, the 3 of us are happy to have you again, and we'll see you again with the next episodes of Sentai Hero Special, Rider Time Podcast, and Ranger Comic Time
Next week. Next week.
And potential unboxing.
Yes, and a potential unboxing, and I can't wait to see what what will be the surprise unboxing will be. And of course, you can watch. And of course, if you love our reviews, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, you can check out our other contents. For, as I mentioned, we review Super Sentai, Boom Studio Comics, Kamen Rider, and of course, Power Rangers Dino Fury. And we also interview several actors. Most recently, we interviewed David Bacon, aka Oraco of Aquitar. Back to what I said earlier. And of course, you can only watch it here on Facebook and YouTube. So ding the bell icon, because the evil overlords at YouTube like to manipulate the algorithm. With that said, guys, thank you all for watching. And Kent, where can they find you?
We review Power Rangers stuff and all, but our main concern is baking. I'm kidding. You can find me on Instagram, brown_K, as well as QR Ranger Book. Where can we find you, Jen?
You can find me at Instagram at Jen Messina, and you can find me at TikTok GMESI2, GMESI2, and Balkan. Where can they find you?
Yes, you could find me on Instagram at Chrono_just_cosplay. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, where earlier today I continued my playthrough of Metroid Zero Mission. And
Lucky, I really need to get that game.
Yeah, and of course, because I am playing through all 5 episodes of Metroid in honor of the release of the new game. And of course, we will all see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Peace.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course, and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.